All right, so welcome to this special edition of the Heatwave. Now, of course, being the last for this year, it's been an amazing journey. It's been a great year. A lot of people came on the show and we had a conversation with them. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to take you like a throwback from where we started this whole year and just show you some of the clips of the people we've had on the show. It has been amazing, trust me. So now, the gospel music industry has been growing lately, and 2017 has seen a lot of young artists emerging, and now we just can't talk about the usual names that we know in the gospel industry because there is young lads that are doing great stuff. We caught up with them on the show and we had a conversation with them. Check this. At what point did you decide you're gonna get into music? Because first time I actually listened to your song, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this much talent. Where have you been?
Well, I've been undercover. I've been studying the industry because you cannot go into something that you don't have knowledge of. I like the saying that says know a little about a lot. So I've been studying the industry, the artists, before I could actually come out as an artist, as a brand, as a minister of the gospel. So I've been around. I go to Christ Embassy Church and I've been active in the choir from the time I was, I think, 12, 11.
Wow.
Yes, I've been singing in the choir. So just that vocal training is much needed if you want to be an artist, or if you want to sing good music. You need to know your highs and your lows and just know how to control your voice. So yeah.
Oh, mellow, I can dance and all that. At the end of the day, he enjoys my worship.
Which is so good. So tell us, when did you start singing? When did you get into this whole singing thing?
I started singing pretty much when I was about 4 years old. It's very funny that when I was a child, my parents always played music that entertained them. So, when you're growing up, the music your parents play is the music you end up loving and listening to.
Yeah.
My mom loved Rebecca Malope. My dad too. They loved Rebecca. My mom also loved Brenda Fassie. They listened to Jim Reeves.
Wow. I was almost asking, but I thought I was going to jump. Okay, let's take this step by step. Are you married?
Oh my God. No, not yet.
Seeing somebody?
That part we don't talk about.
That part you don't talk about.
Not in front
because
of the camera.
The reason why I was asking, I wanted to find out, because most of the time that's why you get all this, the friction. He doesn't support and you are in love and so talented with your music. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. How has it been though?
Well,
he's been supportive.
We're not going to talk about anything that's regarding my personal life. I know you're asking me in an intelligent way. But no, I'm not married yet. And about
not
seeing
single?
Anybody, I'm not going to talk about it. It's very private.
Single or not single?
No, we're not talking about that one, Charlie. We're not.
Yeah, the music industry is quite congested at the moment, and when you come to gospel music, there's a lot of names you can choose from. What makes you unique and make you stand out?
I think being myself, that's the most thing I can say. Being myself is the most unique thing I can do. I don't have to imitate somebody for people to like me. I don't have to be like you, for example, for people to like me. No, I just have to be myself. I have to be on my own lane and be me. That can make me unique.
So how do you describe your music? For those that haven't listened to your stuff.
I think my music is, not even I think, my music is R&B hip-hop, because it's not that hard hip-hop, but it is R&B and hip-hop.
So for you right now, when it comes to gospel music on the local circles, who's doing it right?
Local. I think Pompey.
Oh yeah?
Pompey.
It happens. Not everybody. It's not everybody that actually sings for God.
Yeah.
Others, it's just business. You see, the prophets nowadays who just want to make money, not really that they want to serve God. It's just the same.
So now, there's an issue of where a gospel artist would love to collaborate with secular artists. Do you see that happening in your project? Maybe?
Actually, yes, I do.
Oh yeah?
I do, yeah. Most people would say darkness and the light can't meet, but again,
but that's not what the Bible says.
Okay, come to think of it. What's wrong with you singing with someone who does not really know God? Like, how do you know? Maybe God has planned for you, like the two of you.
Yeah.
Let me say, in that same music you're trying to bring out there, that person gets what's that word? Would change probably.
That was amazing, trust me, to see young talent like that still getting into the gospel industry and making the industry grow. Absolutely amazing. And we're so honored to have a lot of them just coming on the show and just expressing their, their work ethics and what they think the gospel industry is all about, and just getting to know a little bit about them, because I think they are so promising. Next, they should be the big stars in the gospel industry. Yeah, right here. So now, we spoke to somebody who is doing a movie which promises to be one of the most expensive Zambian movie ever done. Okay, and I was so excited to have him on the show when he came through to explain. If you've seen the Mandela movie, I'm sure you'll be excited to know that somebody is working on a movie for our first president. That's Dr. Kaunda. We caught up with Frank, who is a filmmaker, and was explaining to us how the project is going, where it's from, and when we expect to see that movie. Here's how it went. So first of all, before we get into the project and everything else, who's Frank Kasonde? Where'd you come from? I've seen you in the papers though.
Oh, okay, good. That's a great one. Okay. Every time that question pops up, like, who are you, Frank?
Yeah.
Mainly there's more to who I am than just my name, Frank.
Yeah.
I tell people to say, I call myself to be the future of a chosen generation.
Yeah.
A wise man told me to say, the true greatness is measured by the impact one makes in other people's lives.
Yeah.
So when every time a question comes up, Frank, who are you? There's more than just my name.
Yeah.
So I'm one person who feels that before my time expires under the sun, I will make sure that I leave an impact. I was raised with my parents, and there's one thing that I usually tell, like, if there are people in our family that made so many mistakes, I'm actually one of them. It's the reason I'm actually here.
Problem child.
Yeah, I was actually a problem child. So most of the time I would find myself fighting with my father, and by fighting I don't mean like exchanging blows.
Physically, of course.
Yeah, it's like he's telling me to do this, I'm doing that. He's telling me to do this. I'm the most beaten person I've ever come
in the
across.
family.
Yeah.
There's always that one person with the most
That's actually
at the back.
That's actually me. That's actually me. So,
the first time I came across your name was in one of the local newspapers, and here's this guy who's working on this. But then what caught my eye was nobody has actually ever thought to work on a project that you're working on right now.
Definitely.
The
yes,
project
nobody.
is called The Struggle. Its background is Zambia's independence. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, I remember I've worked, today counts 10 years of me working on one single project.
Wow.
Yeah, and believe you me, it has taught me on how to be patient. I'm one person who I knew wasn't patient enough.
Yeah.
But the project itself has actually taught me to be so patient.
Yes.
How am I saying? I came across a man called Liz Brown who says something worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right. So you can imagine, what do I mean by that? I started this project when I was in grade 11 in school. It was on the 24th October. No, not on 23rd. It was on the old man's birthday, and a journalist was moving around town getting to ask people how they think about the old man, and everyone kept on saying something that really caught my eye. They said, our founding father is one man that sacrificed a lot for us to be where we are. The old man was so excited to just see him, and I remember him telling me to say, no, you remind me of myself, because I was so courageous. You picking up this kind of a project is not an easy thing. That's what he told me, and that I can affirm it hasn't been easy.
Exactly. That project, seemingly too huge for yourself even.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard these words 1,000 times from people. Take me through some of the challenges that you've actually faced trying to sell the idea to different types of people, and some of the responses that you've been getting.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Charlie, that's a good question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Believe you me, the first thing that I tell people to say, this project, I'm just not doing it for the sake of doing it. Believe you me, I went to a certain production, a very big firm. It's based in the SA, and they offered me. The meeting we had, it was somewhere at a hotel just behind mass media, and they offered me something like odd currency 7 billion to buy out the idea.
Yeah.
And believe you me, I turned down the deal, and I walked home because I never even had transport to go back home.
Wow.
So you can imagine, when I sat down, I began to reflect on what I did, and I realized to say, the reason why I'm doing this project is not even about the money. It's about the love of people.
So glad you're still joining us right here on the Heatwave. This is a special edition, the last episode for this year, and you gotta watch out for great things next year. 2018, we should be bringing you a lot of greater stuff than what you've seen this year. All right, so now we continue with more artists on the show. Like most of the time, we have artists on the show that we get to talk to, but we decided we're going to catch up with some of the artists that had disappeared in the music industry, but then in 2017 they resurfaced with new projects. I spoke to Shimasta. We had a very good conversation where he was explaining a bit about where he's been, what he's been working on, and what we expect to see with years to come. Here are some of the interviews that I had with people that actually resurfaced in 2017. We'll be back.
And to my surprise, I was listening to the radio 3 days after, and I was like, "We have a new entry," and that song played. I was like, "Yeah,
it was on the charts already."
I was like, "Can you could you play?" It was power play, you know. And then imagine when I heard it, I was like, "Okay, Kenya, then we shine, it's fine." The other week, they just called me and said, "Do you know that almost all the radio stations in Lusaka would be number one?" That song.
Whoa.
And I was like, "Kenny boy, nicer." You know? Changed my mind.
I know, right?
Yeah. Then I was invited for a lot of interviews. And that song is the song that took over Aitai. Because Aitai stayed on number one for almost a year and 6 months.
Wow.
And then that song just took over, you know?
What has gone wrong? Today, music, we're talking something, a whole different story. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even love my son to get into music because...
And I wouldn't blame you.
You know what I mean? What has gone wrong?
What has gone wrong is that, first of all, one, we don't have we don't have a record label or a CD manufacturing company that produces CDs, you know? So as a result, people are buying pirated music, and you can't ask them to stop buying pirated music because what we have in the kitchen is what we eat. So what's there on the market?
It's what they feed on. Yeah.
Yes. You see, so until we have something to replace with what is there, then we can stand up and say that we're pirates because we can feed them with this. You know?
Sure that. Now let's talk about Shimasta real quick as we drop it close. Where is Shimasta now?
Well, right now I've just dropped 2 videos. Last year, December, I dropped Chinyao, the video which gave me an award. And this time I featured Wamurini Land in one of the songs, called Nala Isa. And we did a video which was sponsored by Combon. And the video is what I'm trying to premiere here. And also there's another song called already on social media people think it's something to do with treason and whatever case that is going on in the country, you know, but it has got nothing to do with that. It's just a song that talks about respect the next person's effort and also not being negative towards the next person too much. True. You know, and also realizing to say sanga takupere nishtakupere. So sangalala nevole sapere at that moment, at that time, you know, and also realizing to say everyone has been given position, and everyone's position is highly respected. Let's say Nangura Pianga mu nanikani mu clinic. Yeah, your job should be respected because without you, a lot of things would be messed up. You know, yeah. So that's what that song. I'm just trying to clear this hair. You know, that song is just talking about respecting the next person's human rights.
Yeah. And after that, people, every time I sing, people are like, "You're very good at singing, but why don't
you give it a try?"
So
you actually never thought of getting into music at any given point?
I can tell you that 2005, we had Digital X.
Yes.
Digital X, there was Slap D, there was Willie Jinx.
Willie Jinx at that time.
At that time, there was...
Was it the time where KB was there as well?
KB was there as well. Marcy was there. Even Lighton, the guy in the band, Revolution Band.
Yes.
We were a lot. I think that generation, Kasiwa and who was PJ.
PJ at the time.
PJ's first recorded song
was
done at Digital X. By then we used to be at Carousel.
Wow.
that was where the cream started from. And then, you know, all of us were just in production, but singing, we had these guys that were doing rapping and everything.
You guys were just in there.
I remember the first time I came, I sat and I played, what was this song, that one that made a lot of noise? Not Asembe Sevens, but there was something.
The solo.
In a ghetto, I think if you hear, just in the beginning, I was very, very young. I even screamed, "Oh, this is
the intro part."
Yes.
Wow.
That was my first song where I actually produced something. And these guys were like, "But you're very good with this house thing." And I was like, yeah. No, try it. I was like, okay, me the only thing I know Kwaito.
Yeah.
I don't know these beats. I don't know how to make them and I don't know how to jump on them.
Absolutely amazing. So it looks like it's going to be a great year for you, and I'm really happy that the group is back together. You've had recent shows where it was amazing. Talk maybe quickly before we draw to a close. African Night was amazing.
Yes, we've come up with a concept called African Night. This is basically for people that do Afro-pop music. Because you know we've had hip-hop nights, we've got these rap battles,
hip-hop festivals and all of that.
But we don't have anything strictly African. Why I say African is because we had an event like end of year 2016 at Rhapsodies. You know, it was just called All White Party. But we looked at the people that came. It was people from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had white people from Nigeria, from Zimbabwe, Kenya. And we're like, okay, so we've got these African people that are here.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a situation where we blend, we bring in DJs and artists.
Wow.
But then DJs come in because, you know, DJs are versatile.
Yeah.
So we have a situation where a DJ can play a Kenyan song, they can play this song, and it's just African music, strictly, no Muzungu music.
Wow.
It's just African music. And then we have our own Afro-pop, those people that don't usually have a chance to actually bring out their stuff, and we just put it together.
Meet up with the greats like Clarence Peters, who's
Clarence Peters who shot that beautiful video, man.
Yes,
That was
yes.
amazing. How was the experience working with such a big giant in Africa and on a global scale?
Well, I know at the time, you know, where we are like here, we don't understand what's going on out there.
Yeah.
So even when I met Clarence Peters, it's not like I knew him. You know what I mean?
Is it?
I didn't know him, but they were just telling me, you're shooting a video with Clarence Peters, and in my head I was thinking, oh, it's a white guy, you know, because it's Clarence Peters. It's like, okay. So when we had this dinner meeting to like meet up with him, I was being introduced to him as, oh, this is Clarence Peters. It's like, for a minute I thought it was a white guy, so it was a black guy, you know. So I was like, what's this about? What's about this guy?
Yeah, like I'm Clarence Peters. How come he doesn't know me?
You know what I mean? So I was like, nice meeting you, nice meeting you. So when I went to the hotel, I went and Googled the guy. I was mesmerized. I was like shocked. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I started seeing videos like from Davido, P Square. He did all the P Square videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Is this the kind of people? You know what I mean? I'm working with this type of, and the next morning, the attitude I had when I met him wasn't the same, because now I was intimidated. I was like, Mr. Clarence Peters. Because now I know who the guy was.
Yeah. But the thing is, you guys are approachable to young talent. Don't you feel you need to create guidance for the younger talent that are coming up now?
You know what it is? The thing, at the end of the day, we need to guide these artists. But the problem is, if you perceive me to be a finished artist, what are you going to get me? What are you going to get out of me?
Yeah.
Like really, if you're coming to me and you already have this, he's finished. What are you going to suck out of me? Because I'm finished. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's not about me being finished. An artist is always going to be an artist. Like for me, I don't think I'm going to finish. I think it's people that will get tired of me.
When people say you're finished, what exactly are they referring to?
I think they misuse the word finished, because if someone calls me a finished artist, I think I feel promoted, because finished means something is fine now, it's finished, it's ready for sale. That's what the word finished means. So probably they misuse the word finished for they want to use exhausted artists. So they're supposed to use, these are exhausted artists, but in Zambia there's finished artists. Me, I feel nice if you call me finished artist. I'm like, wow, thank you so much.
Do you yourself believe that you're exhausted?
No, I don't think so. I don't think exhaustion should come in. I think I'm the one to retire, not people to retire me. you know. But they have this perception like when you've been in the industry for too long, they want to retire you before your time, because we all have different dreams.
Now I want to ask you a question. Do you feel Zambia respects what you have done in the industry?
No, I don't think they do. They will respect that maybe after I die, because that's the trend. You know what I mean? I've seen it happening to George Wango. I've seen it happen to most celebrities, most guys that we've lost along the way that have done great songs like PJ. You never respected the guy. When we die is when we make it. Otherwise, we'll never get to see who appreciates us until we die. So we got to do what we got to do. But just know at the back of my mind that, look, I've done so much. I've done so much and I'm still doing. But guess what? Probably my children will get the glory and say, your father was great, man. Your dad was this and that and whatnot. But hey, we can't stop this shit from happening. Oh, sorry for that, mic. It's just
wow. I literally used to do that.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
And from then on, it's really been an amazing journey. You've blessed us with a lot of great songs.
Yes, right.
Now, music always be music and entertainment is entertainment, whether gospel or secular. Let's talk about the pressure that comes with it, man.
I think that it's different. There's this different kind of pressure. The main one is trying to get a break, to actually get signed.
Yeah.
I think that you got a lot of, most of the people that you see who are signed are not necessarily the best talent. They're the ones who polished themselves and branded themselves well, so they are much more sellable, you know. And like now, the music industry, you've noticed that has taken a knock. The profits that the record companies were making are not as high because of downloads and streaming.
We've all gone digital.
That's right, everybody's gone digital. So with that, record companies do not take risks on artists that don't already have a name.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to make you big.
All right, so one of the most difficult thing to do on TV is actually to interview a fellow TV presenter. And this was, for me, I think one of the greatest segments I ever had on this show, when I actually had these two great presenters. They have their own TV shows going on, and I'm sure if you've been following them, you know who I'm talking about. I spoke to Helen on the show, and surprisingly, she's an amazing person, and we had a great show, and this is how it went.
She is a prime example of young, talented, and beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heatwave, and allow me to introduce to you Helen. How are you?
Hi, I love the intro.
Oh, wow.
You can say it again. I always want to fight wherever you take me. So that was like one of the greatest challenges.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainment person. I joined for entertainment, then they take me to the newsroom. I had no say. I complained. It's so stressful, and you know, if it's something that's not really new, but I told myself I'm not gonna fail.
Absolutely.
So I would do a good job. So I was very happy when my bosses would tell me to, like, we want you to stay, we want you to. So challenges have really been there. Even now we still face challenges. You know, our industry is not as big as other countries. So for you to survive, there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to put in. Sometimes when people hear a story, they would even tell you to quit.
Yeah.
So I don't like sharing everything with some people because they'll discourage you.
True that. And it's always funny when they see on TV, like, okay, she got it. How did she do it? I also want to do it. It looks like all perfect, but behind that, there's always, stories like this that are always. So what would be like your ultimate, what did I say, magic wand? What has been your greatest trait in terms of making sure that you always stay focused and strong, regardless of all this? What has been your strongest points?
I think I don't know how I become strong. I think I pray.
Is it?
Yeah, I pray because like I can tell you, is it 2 years ago, 2014? Yeah, I was almost quitting my job. 2015. Wow. I was almost quitting because I was frustrated. Then obviously some people came in and they tried to encourage me. My husband, then before we were not even married, he's the one who kind of talks to me because I would break down and say, I want to quit. There's too much frustrations going on because, you know, sometimes you're frustrated just before you go and say it, you cry.
Yeah,
they're smiling
like,
yeah. So I prayed. I think some things happen so you can get closer to God. Because I grew up in a Christian home. My dad is a pastor.
Is it?
So like I always have that backbone. No matter how much I will go astray somehow, my foundation is so Christian. So I always go back. I prayed, I fasted, and I think that really made me strong.
Wow, you don't look like more of a spiritual person to me. That's so good, that's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Do you find that, coming from that background, do you find it, sometimes it crisscrosses with your entertainment
yeah, at first
showbiz?
It was really hard at first, but you know, because my dad is a pastor and he supports me, it's encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been the different one in the family. I've always been, amongst my sisters, I've always been the one who is on the way and people will talk like,
Always.
1 hour pasta, 1 hour China, you know, like. But then I know it was a bit tricky at first, like, you know.
Don't even think about it. All right. So quick test. Let's talk about lunch. Home cooked or takeaway?
Home cooked.
If you're locked in for 10 days, what would you rather have? Movies or music?
Music.
Music?
Yeah.
Okay. Last time you cried, how long ago was it?
I think 2 weeks ago.
I don't want to ask what happened.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask what happened. One thing that you can't leave the house without.
My phone.
How come I was expecting that answer?
Probably because a lot of us love phones.
I know, right? So, a radio star sign, and this is what it says for you today.
Mm-hmm.
You are currently radiant and glowing with happiness. This is a refreshing change after gloom of the past few weeks. Apparently, the decision you made worked out for the best. Let the good times roll.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar?
Sounds familiar. Very familiar.
Keep shining. Thanks a lot for making an appearance.
Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, so G-Wise is a TV presenter and a singer. So when he released his brand new single for 2017, he decided he was going to come on the show, and we had a conversation about his TV career, about his music career, about his family and everything. It was pretty interesting, and here's how it went. G-Wise,
What's up, Charlie?
how you doing?
Great, man. Great to be
Absolutely
here.
great to have you on the show, man.
Thanks a lot. I'm so excited and so humbled that I could make
Absolutely
it.
great. You know, I was even telling my other colleague before I came on, said like the hardest thing to do is to interview a TV presenter. So you and me is just gonna get off the shell and just have a conversation,
Okay,
like gentlemen.
The thing is that the hardest thing is a presenter being interviewed, because sometimes you want to act like you're the presenter. So just to stay inside, it becomes
it's
tricky.
crazy.
But I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that. All right, man. I'd like to commend you, man. You've been working so hard. You've been on the grind. And obviously, by now, I'm telling you, a lot of people looking up to you to say, okay, one day I wanna get to the level where he is right now. But I'm sure even you yourself just feel like I'm still going further. But just wanna, commend you for a great job that you are doing. First of all, how did you get into all this? First of all, let's start with you getting into entertainment. How did it all start?
First of all, thank you very much. I'm so humbled that you could recognize me in that way. There are a few people that have done so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The beginning is always tough. They always say the beginning is always tough. But the dream started, I think, way when I was a child. I didn't realize it. But I'm one person who would go and sneak out of the house. Back then in Kabwata, sneak out of the house, go at a place called Mama Boy, you know what I mean? And then you pick.
I remember when we used to throw all those things.
You pick radio stuff, broken radios, broken what. And I don't know why I had that interest. You know what I'm saying? My friends would pick all sorts of things, but I would pick speakers, I would pick broken radios, broken TVs, and when I bring them back at home, I would hide them. Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's junk. And
obviously, no parent would allow you, like, what's
you
that?
get my point, yeah. But in the midst of my own play zone, I would be there saying, hello, welcome, hey, what's up, I'm your DJ, Shashan.
Serious?
Yes. And then there were names in the game that probably back then you would imitate. You know what I'm saying? I'm DJ Dazzle, welcome, blah, 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 blah. On the other side, you get drumsticks and you are busy hitting.
The one playing the music.
And I thought it was just a joke by then, trying to chinga you because a skill.
And then you're burning with zeal. You just want to make it.
You get my point, yeah. So it was then that I told mom that I want to go to journalism school. And she's like, okay, yeah. I was like, I want to go to journalism school. So time came, there I was. I went to do my journalism and public relations. On the other side, I did radio production, then I also did TV production on the other side. While I was doing that, realized after clearing and everything, in the midst of employment, I got employed to Zanis, worked there for a year. From working to Zanis, another man identified my talent and what I was able to do. I went to work for Location Challenge. It was based in Lusaka West. While I was at Location Challenge, I enrolled in a South African company, where South African school where I was doing some graphic designing and stuff like that. And from there, I started realizing that I was putting my life in place. I was putting my career in order. Yeah. But still, I had the passion for music. It was still growing for music.
It was still in there.
It was still in there. So I focused on one thing at that point, which was building my journalistic skills, building my everything in terms of media. Okay. Yeah. So at some point, I went off camera. The time I was at Location Challenge, I went off camera and did a lot of below the line work. First of all, I started from being a gaffer, doing lights in the studio, doing lights in the studio to making sound in the studio, from doing sound in the studio to now operating the camera. From operating the camera now, I used to be the editor, the guy whereby after everything is done, you sit down, you chop what is not needed, you put things together, and at the end of the day, you present it to your boss.
The nerve of you now, just putting like the career that you've always dreamt of, this is what you've always wanted, deciding to get it, put it on the side and just forge forward in a different direction so that at some point these things merge. What kept you going? Did you feel some point like you're just losing it and you're just completely wayward in a different direction?
You see, media first of all has a lot of challenges. First of all, to get the opportunities, it's very hard because there are 1,000 of you. So for you to be unique and be picked to say come, you must really have something that you bring to the table. One thing that I remember, even my supervisors, bosses back then used to tell me, what I used to have is passion for what I did. So I think directing myself away from music to do something, I realized that what I was doing, I still loved what I was doing. That's why that other passion never died. It's like having two babies, you know. It's like you have twins. And someone asks you, say, so which one do you like between? You know, you get the point. Even just children, even if they're not twins, you have 2 kids, 3.
Everything has been put in place now. You wanna get back to your passion. How was your first? Describe to me your first day in the studio to record, and how was it for you? The experience.
My first day, I remember it was with my first professional. It was with Silent E, Silent Eraser. Back then, just a small place, and of course, it used to have a lot of things. So when I entered the studio, I was so excited from home. Kill the beat, this, that, when I go there, this is what I want to talk about, this is what I want to run. But when I entered in the studio, I saw the equipment, the microphone, the beat and shine, and I was like, okay, so what do I do now?
I know you for videos. Are we seeing a video dropping soon for this record?
Okay, for this song, I want the video to be professional. So I've engaged actors, like professional actors, to do the acting. I just want to do the singing. So I'll do the directing, I'll do the singing, but I'll engage other actors. So I'm just waiting for confirmation, just to finalize everything else. Absolutely. Just as soon as they confirm to say, okay, let's go ahead, we'll be on set just shooting that video. But so far so good. Thanks to Charlie, thanks to DJ Showstar, thanks to Mimi, thanks to everybody on Q. You guys have really helped me. I really appreciate it. And just Q management for what you're doing for Zambian music. A salute. Thank you very much. You've really helped a lot of artists and we are getting places because of you guys. Thanks so much. And the other stations as well, they've really supported me on Picture No Sound. This is like, I've got tracks with Exile, I've got tracks with Kantu, I've got a lot of other tracks, but you guys on this one just came out and said, gee,
this is the sound right here.
All right, as you know, as QTV, we always support young talent all the time. So during the year, I've hosted a lot of young talented artists that are just emerging in the industry and doing great stuff. We picked out the cream and had a conversation with them right here on the show. Some of them coming from as far as Livingston. Big shout out to you, that was amazing, just to come on the show. So we caught up with young and up and coming artists on the show during the year, and here are some of the highlights of the conversation we had with them. Hey Nan, how you doing?
Good, bro. You?
Awesome. It's good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you very much, bro.
Amazing. So now, you come all the way from Livingston, and how's the music generally in Livingston? First of all, before we actually get to you, how is music in Livingston?
In Livingston, music, I can say that we're growing each and every day that comes, but then the only problem we have is support, because there are people in there who don't know what they have.
Yeah.
There are people who think K9 is from Lusaka. Yeah. But K9 is based there. I'm always there. Okay, so if they can come up with such a thing like on radio and stuff, I'm sure, we'll get somewhere, trust me.
You guys are the ones that entertain the tourists because, they land in there and there's an influx of them coming through. So you're the people that actually should be entertaining them, don't you think?
Yeah. We are the ones that are supposed to be entertaining, whoever comes in Livingston. But the only problem is that we are despised. You know, they only want to think of us when we leave now. That's when they start claiming us. Oh, Ujani Watu. You know, it's not a good thing.
And stuff for you, like
a lot.
For this year, it looks like it's gonna be a great year for you.
Yes, I really believe that it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So away from the music, I want to come to you.
Yes.
You're absolutely gorgeous. Are you dating?
I am currently single. Oh, dating, yeah, but just not in a relationship. I've been told that before. I've been told.
Do you show legs?
No, I don't. I've said this over and over my whole life.
So you go perform with in long dresses and
not
all
a
of that?
long dress. I have a certain style that I have.
Okay.
Ripped jeans, you know, just it's not. I'm never explicit because I always I emphasize on the fact that I want to be respected musically. I don't want people to look at me as a sex object. I'm not. I'm a female. I have to be respected as a female. And that's
Wait,
that.
are you saying
know?
it's wrong to be explicit if it's what puts food on your table? It's what gets you shows. Are you saying it's wrong?
But how will you feel?
The name will shock you, and I'll let him introduce himself. First of all, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very much fine.
I'll let you introduce yourself to the people.
Yo, my name is Young Daddy Zimas, aka Bizo.
Yeah.
Those are my names.
All right. So when I first heard your name, I was so interested. First of all, like, why Young Daddy Zimas?
Yeah, I was too much. I was inspired by Daddy Zimas' song, though I was young, but I was just too close to him, like listening to his song every time. And I was like, the day when he passed on, I was like, let me just get this name. Let me just bring it out. Like, I want to fill the gap because they have no respect for Daddy Zimas, I can say, because they left it there. The big gap, so I had to fill it.
Yeah.
That's why I came up with that name. Yeah, Young Daddy Zimas is a talented rapper representing Wazegede. Yeah, I started my music. That was in 2014, and that's who Daddy Zimas is.
Yeah.
Right now, you got a huge song that is doing great in TZ right now.
Right.
You got an award for it. Tell us about it.
Well, it was the Kilimanjaro Award, and you know, it's crazy that somebody was like, this song is Tanzania, you know.
Wow.
So people were shocked to hear that I'm representing Zambia.
Yeah.
So when I was getting the award, I was introduced as a Tanzanian artist.
Whoa.
You know. So yeah, I got the song of the year award, and also in Cotonou in Benin. For the South Awards, I got the best international act.
Wow.
And yeah, God has blessed us in that way.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean to you right now on your musical journey?
You know, it means so much to me because look at where I came from, man. Rough beginnings, slowly started picking up, and this is just a sign that there's more coming out there for Zambia.
Yeah.
You know, there's more. You know, I'm chasing the Grammys, man. I'm chasing the Grammys. You know, so
you got to put the eyes on the prize at the end of the day.
Right.
You know?
So, you know, for me, it's about what can we do? What can a Zambian person take to the world and bring back home? Man, I'm like, okay, man, look, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling the beat right now.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, this beat is awesome. Take it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Let me go right on it.
Yeah.
I went home. And my wife, okay, you know, me and my wife, we always laugh.
Yeah.
So we got home. She was trying to show me a certain dance, you know, and I was like, that could be it. Yeah, show me how you dance. Yeah. It came out. I was like, okay, look, this is how the song is going to be.
Absolutely.
Try to touch up a little bit, wrote the lyrics. Following day, actually, I wrote that song the same day. Following day, in the afternoon, I went to record. The song was mixed in a few days' time.
Yeah.
The song was out. Put it on radio. The song is putting an idea out there.
Wow.
You know, and
that's amazing.
Yeah. So we contacted somebody that directed us to Godfather, but things just couldn't work out. So we worked with somebody, part of the team of Godfather Productions.
Yeah.
Which is the Plaque Films. We got the guy, Leon Moses, amazing director.
Yeah.
Man, this guy is creative. You could tell from the video.
Yeah. Yo, you know how it is. Like there's the time that I was actually telling myself to say maybe I might actually not go back into doing music.
Yeah.
So every time that I wake up in the morning, I've got these amazing ideas and whatnot. So one morning, this love concept just sparked up, and hey, I decided to work on a track. The song talks about being faithful in a relationship.
Yeah.
Aside talking about women and blah blah blah, but this one really meant a love song that talks about two people being in love and keeping the love burning forever.
Of course, like I mentioned earlier on, my mom, she has always pushed me to be a musician.
Wow.
You can say,
and it's not many moms that will actually want their child.
I've got a great mom in the whole entire world, actually. So she said, no, you can do it. If that's what you want, I'll support you.
Yeah.
So my inspiration comes from my mom and my sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all sing in the family?
Yes, all of us, we sing. We are 4 girls.
Wow.
We all sing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell us about your experience. First time you went into the studio to actually record your song.
It was not easy because I was nervous and I was like, can I do this? When somebody is recording, you feel that, okay, it's an easy thing. It's not easy when you stand out here and start recording and all that. It's not an easy task.
Yeah.
So actually, you have to be creative, especially when you write your own songs. You really have to be creative because you're not just looking up to yourself, also your fans. Are the fans going to like what you're doing? So you have to push and you have to really make efforts so that people would like you and receive you.
Then we can say, okay, I think I can run for the Southern Crown. I think till we reach that point, it'll be quite hard for us to really grow and and bloom out of that of the whole scene we are right now.
Yeah, let's talk about your music influences. Where did you get that from? Like your style is quite distinct. If you listen to your song, I would know that's TJ right there.
I guess as I said,
All right, one of the most talked about industries obviously in the country is the fashion industry. So this year we saw a lot of things happen and a lot of transformations. We saw, for example, the Miss Universe having a representative from Zambia for the first time in so many years, and she represented us so well, though she didn't win, but we had a conversation with her before she went, and several other models that actually represented the country on an international runway. We actually caught up with them and they shared their experience and how the industry is growing and probably some of the things that need to be done to see how the industry is going to go. And this is how the conversation went with these models that actually did great things in 2017.
Are spoiled. So those are kind of the practical examples that we give people in rural areas. We try by all means to explain this in layman's language, and even just looking at our heat, it's been so hot in the past seasons. Hot seasons, the dry seasons are really dry, and the winters are extreme. So those are just some of the effects that we really try to point out.
Now see why you won. So now let's talk about pageants. Pageants usually are associated with glam and pictures, all glitter and gold and all of that. Were you disappointed when you won and then you had to go now in the field, sweating with the people just to make sure that this happens?
Yes, Miss Earth, really, before you even entered, at least I had an idea of what it was about.
What it involves, yeah.
Yes, and what it involves. So it's not really just about being dirty. We say it's green and glamorous.
Wow.
So there's a green side and there's also a glamorous side. There's time when you have to be all made up and be on stage and look beautiful.
Buff?
Oh Lord.
It's that part. Yeah. When was your first kiss and with who?
How old? I should have been, I think I was 19. I don't want to say.
You were late.
So now, look, like you guys, that thing that you do after you when you cry, is that real? I've always wanted to ask this question.
Okay. Being called Miss Heritage Zambia, I cried that night. You were there, right?
Yeah, I really was.
I cried. There's a lot that goes on behind the pageant scene, preparing up to the final night.
My guest today is a charming, very beautiful 26-year-old, and she is the current holder of Miss Universe Zambia. Isabel Chikoti, thank you so much for coming to the Heatwave.
Thank you for having me. That was such a lovely introduction.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
I didn't even try.
That was amazing. Thank you.
All right, so welcome to the show. First things first, that crying thing that you guys do when you crowned, is that even real?
It's real. I can assure you.
Is
it's
it
real.
something you can control? Like, because you make us all emotional.
You know, it's tears of joy.
Yeah.
It's intent and it's real joy because you've worked so hard throughout the month and you finally get to a point where you're being rewarded for your hard work.
Yes.
So it's pure joy.
Absolutely. All right. So now, for a lot of people, we say congratulations first of all.
Thank you.
On the crown. I know it wasn't easy. It was really a journey.
It really
Out
was.
of all this, I think it was one of the most tightly contested competitions in the country so far. Looking at the cream of models that you were competing against, that was really amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So now, who's Isabel? Where were you born? Where did you grow up from?
I was born in Chingola on the Copperbelt province.
Oh, Kopala.
I'm a Kopala babe.
Representing.
Yeah, representing the Copperbelt. I was born and raised there. I went to school at Sacred Heart Convent School. And then I went to Chengelo School from there. And then after that, I traveled to the Ukraine where I studied management of organizations.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. So your degree holder in management.
Yes.
Great stuff. Not only beauty, but brains too. Quite amazing. So now, how's the journey going? Because I know, at a national level, you get the crown. You're going on an international, it's like the World Cup. Where you're
Yes.
going, you're going to meet Germany, you're going to meet the Philippines.
That is the perfect example. Yeah.
What is it that you're taking with you from home? Taking that side primarily.
For me to stand out, my culture
Yeah.
and who I am. I believe that is going to make me stand. I believe that as a Zambian people, we stand out because of who we are culturally.
Yeah.
And we are very accommodating towards other races, other cultures, and other religions. So I believe that is something that is going to make me stand out. And also just my life experiences, everything that I've been through that has molded me into the young woman that I am today. I believe that's going to make me stand out. Just being myself.
Absolutely. And obviously we'll be back home just tweeting, making sure that we get all the hype that we need.
You need to tweet.
Totally.
We need to make a hype about this. You know the way when Zambia's playing football, the whole world knows.
This polo and modeling is right here.
I love that, yes.
Yeah, we gotta hashtag that, you know. So, obviously you've watched the past Miss Universe. Where do you think the most competition is gonna come from on that international stage?
You know, I always tell people that when it comes to, I don't compare myself when I'm competing to other girls because it's like a race. In a 100-meter dash, you're not looking to see who's in the first lane, who's in the sixth lane. You focus on your lane. Of course, you know that, okay, the Latina girls are strong, the girls from the Philippines and Thailand are strong, but I believe I'm strong too.
Yeah.
I believe they better look out for me because Zambia hasn't been there for 7 years. 7 years?
After 7 years, we're representing now.
And I'm going to surprise them because they don't know what to expect from me as a contestant.
And that should be a strength too.
Yeah, they don't know what to expect. So I believe that it's going to be an amazing experience.
To meet all sorts of different people. And if you're not humble, no one can work with you. If you're not humble, no one can even actually say, okay, we can consider this person doing this and that. You need to be really humble for you to work with certain people. So what I've noticed is other girls do want to be controlled. When they are wrong, maybe you say your dress code is really bad.
This is an industry that actually exposes you to a whole different kind of people,
Yeah.
different cultures, and sometimes it's very challenging. And there's this notion here in the country where they say, Mamodo's Swambela. Is it true?
Trust me, it's, I should say it's, that question is like everywhere. Actually, it's not only in Zambia. Yeah, it's all over the world. So I should say...
So it's true?
No, it's not true. I should say maybe like 30% of that is true because people don't talk from nowhere. They see what is done and what
What makes people talk like that though? You are in the industry.
Yeah.
What have you observed?
What I've observed is, like, for me, all these international pageants I've done, I really want to take this time to say thank you to my family and everyone that has been supporting me, because all this money is actually raised by my uncles, my aunties. They put everything together. This is how much my family believes in me, you know, just for me to get there. But for other girls, it's really hard because they have to look for this money. They have to find ways in which they can raise it. Peer pressure comes in, and so they'll just say, okay, I think for me to find this money, this is what I'll do. You know, they use dubious means, they use the wrong way of how to get. So there's so much involved. They would want to keep up with fashion, saying because this is in style, I also need to get this. You know, there's so much, there's a lot. Because they see their friend driving, they also want to drive because there's this and that. No, it's actually really bad. Yeah, this is what leads to people saying models don't listen, because of what you start doing. And trust me, when you do that, the next model they'll meet, they'll say, obviously she's just like that one because she was also a model.
When you got the nomination for Best Male Model, did you believe it?
Okay, for this year, because I haven't done much, I didn't believe it because it was just like a shock for me. It's confidential, I can't say it here, but I can tell you in the background.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you in the background because you know how it is in Z. They think okay, if you're a male model, then you're like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean. Maybe that's where I'm actually going, because you know, look at this. A lot of female models have been stereotyped. Like, okay, yeah, they just, you know. And I remember attending a workshop like past weeks. Those are some of the topics that were actually talked about. Like, female models are known to be promiscuous. Like, okay, they just go around sleeping with men. Male models are considered to be, you know.
Yeah, you know. 95% of they're like, you know.
I don't know what that means. But you know, like most of them, that's what they.
Yeah, even designers are like that. But we just try to change people's minds. Like, cool, if you're a male model, you're not that. Just because there's people that are like that, and there are people like us who are like that. Yeah, because they're two different categories. That's the reason why sometimes, if you've noticed, if I'm doing a show, I don't stay to chill with people, or maybe to do whatever. I just go home and chill home.
All right, still watching the Heatwave special edition right here, the last for this year. So we're just doing a recap on some of the people that have been on the show and some of the great conversations we had this year. So, you know, like during the year, there's a lot of stuff that happens, and we get to go through a lot of things, a lot of stuff. And sometimes motivation is all that we need just to start a day and achieve everything that we set out on that particular day. On the show, I was met with one great person. Her name is Mwewa. She's a youth activist, motivational speaker, and she shared with us an amazing story of success from where she started from and where she is today, which was quite motivating. I'm sure it will motivate you too. And this is how it went.
Introduce me.
I would love to introduce yourself. Mutinta. It's actually Mwewa Duwimba. You know, first time I actually heard about what you were doing, I was really intrigued, and then I had to invite you on the show.
They need to know, youths need to understand that then they have to, they make use of their youth. You don't have to grow to do all those things. So I'm a proud 92 baby.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm a proud 92 baby. I'm 24 years old. Give me a position. We are women, we need positions. And through that learning, I really loved it. And especially each time I would see a woman, doing good works and stuff, I would get motivated because I would think, I've always wanted to. This is the reason why I think I'm so energetic. And the reason why I was so...
All right, so we also invited a couple of great DJs on the show that we spoke to. And they were sharing with us, apart from being on radio or being at the club, playing music for people all the time, what else they do in their spare time, and just some of the hurdles and cradles of the industry and how they just make it happen all the time. And this is what we had to talk about. Give me at least 3 DJs that you know that are not supposed to be DJing right now. You just go like, you know what, you get a pack.
I would say number 1 would be Busy Weezy. He has been in the game for so long. He's supposed to be somewhere representing Zambia on a higher map.
Somebody singing for the first time. Who's Psychotash?
Psychotash is a radio and mix DJ. I was a resident at Room 101 about 2 years running. And now I'm just more on radio, and I mix a lot at your biggest festivals. If there's events and stuff like that, usually I'm one of the people that they call up.
Being in the game for, let me say, not so long, I'm sure you've learned lessons that have actually built you to where you are today, you know. And what do you take when you feel people don't take you seriously sometimes?
Honestly, I think it's the most painful thing, because in the moments that you're truly genuine with people around you, like this is who I am, like you're revealing yourself, and then it's like having them throw tomatoes at your face. That's how it honestly feels, because you bear so much of your soul when you get up on stage in front of over 300 people, and then you find somebody has the nerve to come up and just decide, no dude, you need to get off, your time is almost up. It's kind of like, no, I signed a contract, I'm supposed to be here at this time, I'm supposed to finish at this time. It's very disrespectful, because you find it really beats you up inside. You know, you're being a DJ, I can tell you this, to stand on a stage in front of over 2,000 people. This is from the Casper New Fest event, remember the one in Livingston?
Yeah.
I was playing right after Casper New Fest, so you can imagine how many people were there. So you find this guy decides, no dude, we need to remove this thing now because the sound is just too much now. You can imagine, and you fly yourself out there,
after all the preparation,
all the preparation, then you get there and it takes just one moment for somebody to really make you crumble inside.
Exactly. So now I want you to be brutally honest with me here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Which DJ do you feel is just not doing it right and they should just quit?
Whoa. that's really hectic. Really?
Yeah.
On radio?
Anywhere.
Honestly,
big club, mixed DJ, radio, you just go like, oh man, no way.
Unfortunately, I don't have that much hate in my heart, so it's weird for me to actually. I don't listen to too much radio to be like, oh, you suck, or like to listen to that many sets to be like, no.
I've listened to a lot of DJs that suck.
Yeah, but everybody has potential to grow. And the best you can do in an industry like this is to pull them to the side and be like, yo dude, I just have a few pointers. They can consider it hate, but you're doing yourself a favor, because at the end of the day, when people think DJs, you're in the same box, whether he's good or bad. So you have to tell them, like, listen, what you said, I love this transition, was you just know how to speak to people.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that sucks. I don't believe that. Everybody has
But
potential
there's just
to
certain
be
people that
better.
should quit.
Do you personally feel that way? Do you feel? Okay, so you can answer that. But for me personally, I unfortunately haven't paid so much attention to who needs to quit and who needs to continue. I think I'm so focused on my my direction. To be
Why do you think people don't take DJs seriously? Is it the lifestyle that DJs do live, or maybe it's just a job that people just say, ah?
Personally, I would say why people don't take us, the new school DJs, seriously, it's because of the old DJs that were there before us. I feel they didn't do much for us.
Oh yeah,
who are here now.
When you say much, what do you mean?
Back then, people used to play they give you a crate of beer.
Yeah. Then you jam the whole night till 6 in the morning.
Till 6 in the morning. You're just drinking alcohol. You go home empty-handed. You're just drunk.
Yeah.
So now they take it. Every DJ is like that.
So this man actually had an album drop in 2017, which was absolutely amazing. The buzz was overwhelming, and he was so busy at the time. Just to get him on the show was actually by luck, but we did manage to actually get him. And when he came, he actually expressed with us a lot of things that had been happening, because it had been too long since he had actually released an album, and why he decided to release an album, and a lot of things that were going on in his life and all of that. Slap D has been somebody that a lot of people have been looking up to. He's a hip-hop king, that's what they call him. And Black Na White 2 dropped, and everybody just started talking. That's about the time that we actually called him on the show, just to have a discussion of things, how they were going in his life, the album, and his music career. This is how the show went.
Slap D, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Glad to have you on the show. I've been looking forward for this interview for years, man.
Thank you for hosting me. Well, we're here now.
Absolutely, really great. Well, for starters, first of all, people look at Slap D and saying all this going on right here, and he's on top of his game, doing the correct thing. But a lot of people actually have the slightest idea about where you come from.
Yeah.
Share with us how where you were born, where you grew up from.
I was born in a small town called Longwa, Eastern Province. I was born to Damasco Musonda and then Ena Simawa Musonda. In a family of 4, I have 3 siblings, actually 1 now, because the other 2 are late. And I then, at a very, very young age, we moved to Botswana. My parents actually moved a lot. We moved to Botswana and also South Africa. and then came back here to Zambia. When I came back, I was I think in the 8th grade. I went to Chikankata High, completed there, came back and started my music hustle. And it's been fun and games since then.
But what kept you going at that time though?
It's the passion, like I said, the drive. You know, you don't at that point you don't need anyone to tell you do this and you get it right. I once spoke to my uncle and said, do you think it's a good thing to be popular, to be famous? Because at that time all I wanted was fame. You know, I had so much passion, I didn't care about the money. If I could just make a name out of my music would be enough. So I asked him and he said, only if you're famous for the right thing. And for me, I think that was a yes. You know, you could go ahead and do the music.
Yeah.
So the passion, I had a rhyme book full of songs. But every time I spaz for my friends, they would be like, wow, that's dude, you need to get somewhere.
Absolutely.
So the drive kept me going.
All right. So now this is like huge book of rhymes writing. Yeah. How are your results though at grade 12? Didn't that sort of get into your way somehow?
They were average. I got 14 points. I won't even lie to you. I got 14 points, which wasn't bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting university with that.
Exactly. So I got 14 points.
Wow.
And it's great.
Which is great. I know it hasn't been a smooth journey though. Your first song is out. Have you ever been booed on stage? What are some of the craziest moments that you've been on stage and then things just don't go right?
You're not a complete musician if you've never been booed on stage.
And I'm sure nobody can imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, he's been booed before?
Exactly. It's like even in the office, you get booed, except it's not actual boos. But you know, someone will turn down your ideas in the boardroom. Like, nah, even this one, nah, that's nah. Probably laugh at it.
Yeah.
You know, but I've been booed about three, 4 times.
Well, now that you're here, I want to take this opportunity. I haven't gotten it from you. I know it's been years now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about PJ, man. Like that dude had a lot of talent, massive talent, and you had him on a couple records before he actually blew to the. How do you feel now, man? Like when he's not around anymore, and obviously a lot of people have been trying to replace him and all of that, and you guys were really close.
Yeah.
How has it been, man?
It's been really bad, you know. It's been bad. It's hurtful when you think about it. You can't replace such a guy. You can't replace such talent. You in fact, will never replace such talent. The thing with him is he was a natural. He was a good guy. But we sort of fell off. What hurts me is that we fell off right before he died. Well, a couple of years before he died, you know, we fell off, we had disputes, so we were not very close. But I don't know why, a year before he died, he came to the studio, and he actually called me, which was very rare, you know. He called me and said, so I told him, I want to go studio, organize. He came through, as usual, with a bottle or something.
Yeah.
So we sat down there and I was waiting to hear what he was going to tell me, and he just said, nice and cool. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't buzz. Okay. Because I was at the studio and he started, you know, we chilled, laughed. And so I left. I had to go somewhere. And then when I came back, I found H Mac and he was telling me, so we just had a long meeting with PJ, and he wants in on the X and he wants to record his last album. Whoa. Sorry for that. He didn't say the last album. He wants to record his album here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't know what to say. I just said, let me ask my life. So what do you think? I was like, what? Are you for real? I was like, yeah. So PJ started recording his album.
Now talking about business and hip hop culture. At first, I remember way back it was Tommy D, then the Makitu thing. Is this beef thing part of the business? Or it's something that's uncontrollable? You just wake up and then there's this.
Well, I don't really. Nowadays, it's hard to beef because I'm a very calm person and I'm more. My decision making is a bit more. It's not that of a rapper. It's of a businessman.
Yeah.
So before I hit some shots back, I think who is it gonna benefit more? How is it gonna be? But before it was basically just music, There was a lot of competition then.
Yeah.
And I think I came with a bang. When you come with a bang, definitely you're going to face a lot of shots.
Absolutely.
So some of it was planned. Like usually it would start as a real beef, and then end up as a business plan for me. I don't know about the other people, but you know, I'll keep using it and using it and using it, you know, and then, like you said, it's knowing when to draw the line. It's when do I stop, and when does it become boring for the Zambian people? You don't want them to stop it. You have to stop it yourself.
Wow.
Otherwise, if they stop it, you become boring.
All right. Yeah. So, can you sit here and tell me those beefs were actually bad business decisions for you?
To some extent, yes. I mean, the last drama that I had, I'll be very honest, I've never said this anyway, I'll say it here. The last beef that I had has been beneficial to me, but also it's been bad for the industry because it has brought in a lot of division.
Yeah.
It has divided a fan base that was one is now broken down into components. Exactly. And also, it's brought to life. You see, the camp that we attacked is, I would compare it to ATL in America.
Yeah.
The people that are attacked make good music. They understand the music, but the people around them came out with music that just ruined Zambia. You know, they killed the industry. The music was bougie.
Yeah.
You know, it was too. That's not what we're selling. It's not original. Exactly. If you know what I mean, I'm trying to say something, but in a very polite way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They brought a sound that killed the game. That should tell you that, you know, we worked hard.
The first week, this album sold a record 2,000 plus copies, man. And this is in an era where people say CDs don't sell anymore. This is a new story, man. Still breaking new grounds.
Yeah, well, CDs still sell in Zambia, especially. Yeah. Where the iTunes is really hard to operate. But yeah, CDs still sell, and really, I shouldn't. Like, I can't even brag about it. It's just the people that have been supportive.
Absolutely.
You know, when people believe in you so much, they support you and they give you everything that you need to go forward. And that's what the Zambian people did for me. You know, my fans, you know, music lovers in general. There are people who don't like hip-hop, but they bought it because they wanted to listen to Zambian music.
All right, so at the same time, Slap D had a lot going on. Okay, his camp was breaking apart. One of the best female artists in there had left the group, Kantu, and a lot of people were actually wondering what really happened for her to leave, because it looked like you know, she owed it all to XYZ for all her fame, all the singles and everything. But she came on the show and explained it all, and this is what she had to say about her leaving XYZ and everything else that was happening in her life at the time.
It's like Mungeli. When I wrote Mungeli from my heart. It's something that was close to me, and I was thinking about my future children without fathers. I
didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, I was thinking about my niece. No.
Oh, that just came.
It did. I was thinking about my kids because I don't think I'm gonna get married though.
Why?
I don't know, but I just don't think I'm going to get married. So,
what, you don't picture yourself getting married?
No.
But you do want to have kids?
Yes. So I want them to know that I'm going to have them because I want to have them, and because I
what is it about men that makes you feel not want to get married?
Times have changed, obviously.
Yeah.
Times have changed. And to be very honest, I have trust issues, because I've been heartbroken way too many times.
Yeah.
And I don't think at the point I'm at, I can handle another heartbreak. So I would rather just concentrate on my school, my job, helping to raise my nieces and my nephews. When the time comes, I will definitely have my own.
Do you believe true love exists though?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm. But here's one thing. Despite the fact that I've been heartbroken so many times, I still want to love. But the person I want to love, I want to be sure that they actually do deserve my love.
Are you a kind of person that lists down what you want to find in a man, then you keep checklisting with everybody you meet?
No. If you ask me today what I want in a man, the only thing that I want is someone that is an intellectual, because then we'll have, I feel like they will help me become a better person. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind somebody who drinks.
Quite strange coming from you, who's an entertainment industry. But anyway, that's a question for another day.
Yeah.
So now, tell us about your first time getting into the studio to record commercially. How was the experience?
It was amazing. I remember then, what was that? That was 2012 when I got into studio to do the Christmas show with Paz on ZNBC. And then I had to go to Mongu on a school project. So unfortunately, I couldn't attend that show. And then afterwards, I remember getting into studio with Kachanana, and we did Murazi Waka.
Oh yeah.
That was like the first time I got into studio and recorded something on a professional level.
Was that at that point where you decided, wow, I really want to do this?
Then I actually didn't even know.
Considering your indecision.
You got me there. I didn't even think I was gonna do it professionally.
We'll talk about the industry now. Signed to XYZ, how was the experience for you as both as an individual and as an artist?
The experience was amazing. It was amazing. I learned a lot, and it was really nice. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that I had the opportunity of working with one of the best groups in the industry.
You exiting the group, what really happened? We had mixed stories. We want to hear from you.
Well, I've never really talked about it because obviously there are people that are so religious about it that whatever I will say, they will keep, and I really just love my peace. I decided to walk away without saying anything out of the respect that I have for everyone in the group. I'm not one to parade my dirty laundry in public.
Yeah.
So I just never like to talk about it. All I will say about my exiting of the group is that I had to. It was, in as much as it was a very difficult decision for me to make, because I knew I was going to lose fans. I knew I was going to lose a bit of respect from some people.
Yeah.
But it's something that I had to make if I wanted my music career to go further. I felt like I wasn't growing.
Yeah.
And as we all know that it's a hip hop group.
Yeah.
I felt that I did not fit in well. Because at the end of the day, whichever event that I will go to, whoever is there is a hip hop fan and not necessarily an Afropop fan.
Yeah.
And I do Afropop. So I felt like it wasn't really working out for me, and I was only looking out for myself.
Yeah.
And I took what I learned from being in the group, and it's helping me become a better artist. I know now what type of artist that I want to be, where I want to be 5 years from now. And that's the reason why I left. I needed to grow. And you know what I mean.
I totally act like I know what you mean right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no regrets whatsoever.
No regrets of
awesome
any sort
experience.
whatsoever. And
you guys still talk though?
Yeah, we although we don't talk, but I've got no regrets. I did not lose out on anything.
Mm-hmm.
If at all I lost out on fans, then they did not love me for me. And
Absolutely.
I think I'm doing the right thing. I'm working with
You think you're
people.
growing now? Like,
yes, I'm actually growing.
Let me understand what you feel
Mhm.
when Slap D does a verse saying you'll never make it where you're going. Does that sort of give you a negative energy every time you see it and write a song or move forward in your career?
This is something that people have been referring to over and over and over. His fans have been referring to this over and over and over. But my question is, what is your definition of blowing up?
Yeah.
Does your definition of blowing up mean that I need to have 1 million fans, have a hit song, and get something that is not worth it at the end of the day? Or would you rather I have 10 fans but be able to perform at a UN event? or be able to go to Nigeria and perform at a youth conference on climate change? What is your definition of blowing up? And this is one thing that I've been asking people. There's a difference between having 1 million fans and not having that actual effect on people's lives. I would rather I have 10 fans who believe in me, who love my music, and at the end of the day, I touch their souls through my music. Then I will know that I'm actually fulfilling my purpose, because I feel that my purpose on earth is to touch people through my talent. And if I'm doing that to 10 people, then I'm okay with that. So it all depends on how you define blowing up. Another thing that I will address...
Did that statement affect you in any way, though?
That is exactly where I was coming. In the beginning, when I heard that, I was a little hurt, because I felt like that was a curse. You know what I mean? I felt like that was a curse, and I'm being as honest as I possibly can. Because 2 weeks after that song came out, I was literally stabbed at my own gate.
We heard about that story on social media. What really happened, though?
2 weeks after the song came out, I was stabbed at my own gate. And I'm not one to I would have made a big fuss out of it. But I didn't. I literally just...
You have an idea who these people are?
I do have an idea, but I can't put it out there because of controversy. You know, but we reported it to the police. Around that time, I was getting threats here and there, and...
All right, so this is a special edition of the Heat Wave, the last one for this year, obviously. So we're just doing a recap on some of the people that have actually visited on the show. So now I know as you make your resolutions for 2018, some of them is maybe to start a business or to just be an entrepreneur and all of that. I had a couple people that are young, energetic, driven, and running their own businesses, and they shared with us how the experience had been in terms of starting a business from one, and how some people never believed in them, and their stories are so inspiring.
So you formed a modeling agency. How did that pan out together?
Well, modeling, okay, from what I heard, it wasn't something like I had passion for. It's just, you just see people doing stuff, Miss Zambia on TV, but that is it. Cynthia Kanema used to watch her show. Yeah, Cynthia Kanema grooming the girls and stuff, just wanting to be bossy and stuff. Because my height, I'm too short, and I couldn't.
Who told you too short?
I don't know.
Everybody's tall in heels.
Yeah, but for me, I thought I couldn't do modeling because of my career and other personal reasons. Then I decided to open an agency, knowing that models in our country are being exploited. Which I thought I should try to bring a positive impact, because knowing modeling in Zambia is something that has been immoral from day one.
You've been away for some time. We're going to get to that. Tell us some of the one of your memorable events that you've attended, fashion shows you've done, the shoots you've been in. We just see the photos on Instagram.
Okay, the first thing that wowed me was Miss Universe. Coming from a poor background, I was born and raised in Chunga to start with. So Miss Universe was quite huge for me. And I never thought I would go to the USA. That was my first time going to the USA.
Wow.
So let me say, Miss Universe wowed me. And when I came back, the first international rump I walked it was AC Fashion Week. So I did AC Fashion Week, then later on I was invited.
Which year was that? AC Fashion Week is huge.
I've been doing AC Fashion Week for 4 years now, if not 5 years. Yeah. So it was in 2013 when I did AC Fashion Week for the first time. I was invited to do Glitz Africa Fashion Week in Ghana.
Wow.
So I went to Ghana. I stayed for like a month. They called me back to Nigeria. I did Africa Fashion Reception in Nigeria. I came back and I thought to myself, okay, I think I'm done living in Zambia because you people don't appreciate us. So it was at that moment I said, okay, I can do something for myself and motivate others. So I decided to move. I left and I went to SA, and that was it.
All right. Now, having been exposed to different industries in different countries across the continent and beyond, how would you compare the fashion industry in the country and one that you've seen outside?
We are very behind. I feel like Zambians are too judgmental. And because of that attitude, we won't grow. It will take mountains for us to grow. People feel like, well, not they feel, but they mix culture with modeling. You can't. These are two different, they're two different worlds. You can't mix modeling with culture. And that's the reason why few shots I've done, people have thrown stones at me, but I consider myself unshakable.
Yes.
As long as I know what I want, as long as I know what I believe in, and I know I'm not doing anything harmful, I will do it.
Yeah.
So people have said, no, she's not cultured. I'm a very cultured person. I come from a very humble home. I'm the only child that has been out there, like wearing miniskirts and all. If you see my siblings, they're very different from me.
Yeah.
Not because I'm a bad person or I'm indisciplined or anything, but no, it's because I'm a model.
The media has always been interested and been following you up. There was a time that the media stormed on you when you actually posted that almost nude photo shoot. It was all over the country and people were talking. Are you now used to such kind of publicity?
Let me say, I'm a very strong person. So when I posted the picture, I knew people would talk. I knew they would talk.
Was that the purpose?
No, it wasn't the purpose. But I was prepared mentally, and that's the reason why I didn't fight back.
Yeah.
I pay my bills through modeling, and you pay your bills through here.
Yeah.
So I respect you for that, and I feel like people should also respect me. It's what I choose to do, and as long as I'm not killing people, as long as I'm not doing anything bad, I feel like people should respect me for being a model.
Yeah.
So me posting that picture didn't mean no harm. But I was prepared because I know most Zambians are cowards. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. You know, they always want to bring somebody down.
Yeah.
If you think I'm doing something wrong, why not advise me to do something better? Why insult me?
Do you feel you were doing something wrong when you did that photo shoot?
No, I wasn't doing anything wrong.
What do you think the country received it in that way, though?
I wish I could say I don't care, but I will say I care because I respect where I come from. I respect my culture, but I wasn't in the country. Maybe if I was in Zambia, I would have thought about it, but I wasn't in the country. I don't work in Zambia. I work elsewhere, and where I work from, they do allow.
Yeah.
I was advertising somebody's body lotion.
Wow.
Because I have a great skin. Sorry to say, but
it is.
Yeah. So why should I feel bad? So for me, I was doing it. I'm advertising somebody's product. This person is paying me. I'm not doing anything pornography. So I shouldn't feel bad about it. I didn't feel bad about it. I wasn't worried about what people would say.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I had prepared myself.
Absolutely. And do you feel this is the reason why these cultural restrictions, that's the reason why the industry has taken long to actually expand in the country?
Not really. Not really. Let me tell you something. If we talk about culture, I wouldn't want to go deep.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, and I'll say it again, we Zambians are cowards. We want to criticize somebody that has come up unopened.
Yeah.
All right, I'm so glad you could actually watch the whole show after the end. Well, guess what? 2018, we're coming with more great stuff. Continue with your support, and we'll continue to bring you nothing but the best on the Heatwave. This has been Charlie. Until we see you again next year with more great stuff. Keep watching QTV.